Thanksgiving Friday. And the tip controlled by Wichita State. First full season for Isaac Brown, who was their interim head coach to begin the year last year. Etienne gets his first touch. He's guarded by Amari Davis. 28 points last time out for Etienne, but he is a notoriously slow starter. Shot clock winding down for three. Well, he throws that right in the play-by-play guy's face.
And they're going to take a look at that, whether or not he was on the line. That's a good sign for the Shockers if Etienne's making that first attempt.
Missouri anchored in the middle by 7'3" sophomore Jordan Wilmore. Kobe Brown will play all over the floor on the offensive end. Here's Amari Davis. Missouri's had a tough time knocking down shots. Last in the SEC at 41%. Like everybody, Isaac Brown has gotten to know his new team and put in new pieces. That includes some transfer portal guys we see in the starting lineup and others we'll see later. Dexter Dennis is their defensive specialist. Here he is from the wing. Wow. Back-to-back long J's for Wichita State.
Yeah, and Dennis has not shot the ball well from the perimeter, just 25% from bonus land in the early going. He usually doesn't shoot the ball real well, Tom, until February and March.
Nothing wrong with being ahead of schedule. Missouri had a great non-conference run last year. Tigers coming up of a loss to Florida State. They were down big at the half and made it respectable late. Conzo Martin has taken Missouri to the tournament 2 out of the 4 years Tigers have played in it. Or pardon me, it's been played. 5th season as Mizzou's head coach. Morris Udeze goes right into Wilmore, who gets whistled for the foul. And what a run it's been for Isaac Brown, last year's American Conference Coach of the Year. Took over late, thrust into an interim role just 8 days before the season. They were picked to finish 7th in the conference. They won it. They went on to the NCAA tournament. A former assistant under good friends of ours, Mike White at Louisiana Tech, and John Pelfrey at both Arkansas and South Alabama. What a timeline for Isaac Brown.
You know what stands out to me? When you win 14 of your first 16, quit. Just quit. Just go. It's not going to get any better.
Morris Udeze, Jr. from Houston, makes the second of 2. You may have seen a familiar face lurking behind Isaac Brown. That's Billy Kennedy, former Texas A&M coach who's been on the Wichita State staff the last couple of years. A mentor of sorts for Brown.
Mizzou off to another slow start offensively.
Physical play inside. Ronnie DeGray unable to finish. Home fans still on their feet waiting for the first Tiger bucket. Brown no look. Dejuan Gordon, the K-State transfer, will allow folks to take their seat.
Well, if your offense is struggling, why not look to your defense to try and help you a little bit?
That was a concern on Isaac Brown's side. They have to limit Missouri's transition. These teams played last year. Tigers got a win in the Roundhouse, got 20 points in transition in that game in Wichita. From the corner, another long jumper. This one belongs to Joe Pleasant. Who is this Shocker team?
Well, how about the fact that Porter gave up a wide open layup at the rim to find a teammate at the arc?
Wichita State 2 of 2 from deep. They called that first one a long 2, and they'll take another look at it for sure. Boogie Coleman pull up off the mark. Transfer from Ball State.
I didn't like that shot. You can get that shot anytime.
Craig Porter Jr. running the point for the Shockers. He's a first-year starter. Etienne, nice bounce. But Morris Udeze couldn't squeeze it. How about this? Point blank 2s or 3s? What do you like?
Hoops in 2021. Give up the dunk to feature the 3-ball. Shockers off to a great start.
Wichita State hasn't missed in this game. 3 for 3. Tigers 1 for 4 with a turnover. Missouri only returning 19% of its minutes this season. Brown and Pickett are returning regular players, even though Pickett moved into an off-the-bench 6-man role last year.
And when DeGray comes in for Wilmore, then that changes the Mizzou offense. They're more of a 5-out, a lot more motion.
Etienne, fadeaway 2. He is a volume shooter.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think the over-under is in terms of number of shots?
Oh, he's taking
for Etienne tonight. I'm putting it at 19.5.
Take me for the over. The only thing that will slow him down is the tempo. There's Ronnie DeGray getting a bucket inside. Ronnie DeGray the third. Tyson Etienne has taken 31% of Wichita State shots when he's been on the floor. This is Porter wide left. 7 regular season games mixed in there was a big win at home against Houston. And that also probably likely sealed their entrance as an at-large into the NCAA tournament. Lost to Drake as an 11 seed in the first 4. And we got another foul on the interior on Wichita State. That's Ricky Council, the 4th. All freshman team in the American last year. All right, Mark, let's talk about Missouri. The shortcomings offensively kind of for the season being shown here tonight. Conzo's team just 2 for 6 to start this game. How does point guard play into where Missouri is offensively?
Well, I think, first of all, there's not a natural point guard on the roster. So they're kind of figuring it out on the fly. And when you do that, there's going to be some growing pains.
Wilmore couldn't hit the little baby hook, although nothing he does is baby. It's 7-3.
But to finish that thought, Missouri last in the league in field goal percentage, 13th in three-point makes, 12th in three-point percentage. It's hard to win games when you can't score.
And
you've heard me say this before. You ask coaches what you have to do to win, they all tell you and regurgitate, we got to defend and rebound. We got to defend it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got to score.
Here's Boogie Coleman. He was a pretty good scorer last year at Ball State, 14 points a game. Played really well late.
Much better. Good ball movement. It's a better shot because you have ball reversal, moves the defense.
Able to get it inside, and that'll be a foul on Ronnie DeGray the 3rd, and a correction. That previous foul on Wichita State charged to Monzie Jackson.
Really impressing with Porter at the point here in the early going.
Well, there's a Missouri team that kind of alluded to it. Gonzo Martin saw a lot of guys leave, just like normal, in the transfer portal, and looking to get some guys back. Fewest returning minutes, Division I, 20%. You see Iowa State, the only power conference team, although Creighton obviously successful program over the years.
And we had an interesting conversation with Gonzo Martin today about the transfer portal. What's your stance on the transfer portal? Should it be open during a sports season? Any sports season?
Well, I think that now we're seeing football really influenced by it. It's been there for basketball, right? But it's more impactful on the football side. Usually football makes the rules. That's going to get a longer look as Wichita State shows three-quarter court pressure for the first time. I think it's bad when tampering occurs in season and guys start to leave. I think it does a disservice a lot of time to that player who, if he would just stay and stick it out, finish the semester, finish the season, whatever that might be. And if we had a transfer period like we have a recruiting period, signing day, I think that'd bring more balance to it.
I'm hearing that you're on my wagon. That's what I'm hearing. That we should it should not be open during the season. You're not going to be eligible any sooner. And I think we're sending the wrong message to allow players to do that in season.
I don't disagree with you. I was just curious why you had a wagon. I thought you had a rental car. Transfer portal giveth and taketh away. Their coaches out there have done a great job to use it to their advantage.
Right, Kobe Brown, little point guard duty. Well, if you struggle in the half court to score, and that's where Missouri is, then you have to crash the offensive glass.
Wichita State, great defensive team, takes it away. Etienne feeds it up front. And another loose ball. Missouri has it with Kobe Brown leading the break. He'll take it himself, and he has it blocked by the side of the backboard. One of the conflicts that Cuonzo Martin talked about with Kobe Brown is he's got to be more aggressive looking to take the ball to the hole. The conflict there is that he's a great passer looking for his teammates, but to be a star in this league, you got to look to score.
I was okay with that in terms of him trying to attack in transition. You've got nothing going. You're in offensive quicksand to start.
I was always afraid of quicksand as a kid, and I realized as long as I don't venture near it, I'll be all right. That last foul was on Deshaun Gordon. Wichita State's makes have all been from deep. Here's Etienne, shot clock at 3. Into the paint, and a teardrop goes.
How many different stops and starts and threats does Etienne give you? He's a trainer waiting to happen, because if you're guarding Etienne, you're hollering, "Trainer!" a lot. Take another look. There's a step back, hesitation, in between, off 1 foot, but in balance. Tyson Etienne.
Dad Max played at Maryland in the late 80s. First for Bob Wade and then Gary Williams. His godfather is Marcus Camby. So there is talent in the family, direct line and otherwise. Boogie Coleman almost tipped it into the other basket.
And Poto can make that shot because he made 3 in their last game against UNLV.
Coleman off the window.
See, that's the early offense I'm talking about, because they get stagnant longer in the half court on a possession.
A couple years ago, Boogie Coleman, the MAC Freshman of the Year. Missouri's got some guys that have shot the ball well at their previous stops. That one right down the lane, and a finish for Ricky Council, the 4th.
And one of the tough things for Cuonzo Martin is maybe his best offensive team is not his best defensive team.
What's most important to you in that regard?
Well, come on. You're asking the offensive guy. I think you have to play enough defense, but you have to play offense all the time.
Nice spin move by Kobe Brown.
Let me ask you, would you take the charge on Kobe Brown?
No. 6'8", 250, played for his dad at Huntsville Lee down in Alabama. It took a coaching change to get him in a Mizzou uniform. The assistant on the Wichita State bench, Billy Kennedy, had him committed to Texas A&M. Nice little baby hook by Kenny Poto.
That is a great looking freshman.
Baseline jumper good. And Amari Davis has it. Starting to feel contagious for Missouri. Nice little run.
But again, early offense. Score early in a possession.
Tigers have made each of their last 3 to close it to 7. Tigers defense really making Wichita State use the clock. Here's Council down the lane. And freshman out of Durham, North Carolina. 3-star recruit out of the Bull City and the American freshman team last year. Knocks down 1 of 2.
Here's this little 1-2-2, 3-quarter again.
What are the Shockers looking for out of it?
Well, again, they're trapping. They want to be aggressive out of the timeout. I don't think they'll stay in it very long.
Kobe Brown slices down the lane.
The key to that is keeping the ball in the middle of the floor. And even though it got in the corner in the trap, it was a good pass out. That led to the easy deuce.
Mizzou has now made each of its last 4 field goal attempts after a slow start. Kobe Brown the board.
It was a little quick by Grant.
Here's Davis. First miss in 5 trips for the Tigers.
Tom, you asked me about point guard play earlier. And this is true for both teams who are going through some transition with their point guard play. I've always felt like point guards need to learn that you score late. You score late in a possession. You score late in the game.
Scores late.
The point guard
right.
scores late in possessions. He scores late in the game. In other words, get your shots when the ball comes back to you.
It's like hosting Thanksgiving dinner. You feed yourself last. All right, make sure everybody's got what they need, and then you can sit down at the table.
Did you have a good turkey day?
Great. I carved it myself. It was fantastic. Shout out to my sister Holly. She did all the hard work. Here's a takeaway by Pleasant nearly. So Pleasant comes from an athletic family. That Anthony, 14 years in the NFL, won a couple Super Bowls for the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick must have liked him. Had him with the Browns, the Jets, and then the Patriots. D-line coach with the Chiefs for a few years. Here's Boogie Coleman down the lane. All right, well, Missouri has turned it up now. They've made 5 of the last 6. What changed?
Well, again, I think this smaller lineup is a better offensive lineup for Conzo Martin because DeGray must be honored with the ball screen.
Bodo gets inside. Shares it and took it off the rim. He knew it.
Time I talked about spacing and 5 on the perimeter. Take a look at this ball screen, but everybody's out on the floor. Why? That opens up the driving lane. Coleman delivers, all because of a different lineup.
Coleman. High off the glass, and Missouri continues this run to make it a 2-point game.
That's bonus points. High degree of difficulty.
Etienne's been on the bench for a little while. First.
Shockers have got to stop turning the ball over. 6 already.
Etienne is averaging 4 points in the first half this season, 15 points per game in the second half. And he has had some big games already this year. Opened the season with a buzzer beater from the logo against Jacksonville State.
Shockers go to a little 2-3.
To the elbow. And rebound ripped away. Morris Udize.
That's always the million-dollar question. Can you board out of a zone?
Try that when you get to the airport tomorrow. They will be very strict with you. Wilmore and Udize, pretty good matchup. Big Zick and bang. Wilmore helping out. His man open for the dunk.
It's a great find by Pleasant. Feet in the paint, attract defenders. Find a teammate.
You know, if you watch Tyson Etienne, who's in his 3rd season at the Wichita State program, he plays like a true veteran in that he has a calming presence about him. And sometimes you might think that looking at his numbers is only on the offensive end. If you watch number 1 in black, you see it on both ends of the floor.
I had them a couple of years ago, and after a game, he was back in the roundhouse shooting more shots.
Reigning American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year. He's played with some great players in his history. AAU ball with Cole Anthony, now in the NBA. Etienne not taking over this game. He's letting his other guys get involved. Pickett getting downhill, cut off. Coleman will let it fly. Boogie Coleman hit 42% of his threes last year at Ball State, and the ball will stay with Missouri. But he hasn't found a shooting touch this season.
Here's how you get extra possessions with supreme effort. After the miss, watch DeGray chase this ball down in the corner to slap it back off Pleasant and maintain the possession for the home team.
Tigers 0 for 3 from deep so far. And it's a scoring drought nearing 2.5 minutes now for Mizzou. They pulled to within 2 at 18-16. Ronnie DeGray III with the shot clock winding down. Here's Etienne again from deep. And Porter with the glass.
Well, he has been really impressive. coming off a game where he played a career-high 28. I'm talking about Craig Porter Jr. As we see the charge taken by DeGray inside. I think this is Udeze. Just kind of lowers his shoulder. DeGray holds and holds. One of the points of emphasis this year is to officiate more that initial meet and greet between the bigs. I don't know that I've seen a lot of it yet.
Pickett splits the defense. Get cut off by Udeze. Nice feed. Kobe Brown rejected at the rim. That was Dexter Dennis, one of the best defensive players in college basketball. Pleasant for three. And the knuckleball clangs off and leads to an Udeze foul.
This is great recovery by Dexter Dennis. It's always the weak side guy who gets the highlight blocks, denying Brown there.
Dennis making his 41st consecutive start tonight for Wichita State.
I think there are coaches in the American who think Dexter Dennis is playing in his 200th game sometime this year.
He's been around. Well, last year against Missouri, had a great game defensively against Xavier Pinson. Held him to 3 points on 1 of 13 shooting.
See, everything's a struggle in the half court for Mizzou right now. 5 guys out, but keep the ball hopping.
Ripped away from behind. Craig Porter couldn't corral it, though. A heads-up play to get from behind Kobe Brown and initiate the turnover.
You've heard me say this before. For players who handle the basketball, ever how many dribbles you think you need, divide by 2.
I was never good at math, but what's the point of that?
Don't dribble so much, and if you're going to dribble, go somewhere.
Tigers have missed their last 6 field goal attempts.
We're going to see Keita, the young freshman, in the game for Mizzou now. Lonzo Martin trying to find an answer.
And he keeps the ball alive. Saved at midcourt by Boogie Coleman. That's a long 2. Oof. Coleman looking for Keita inside. And he gets fouled hard by a host of Shockers. Take your pick.
That's how you get more minutes, though. Be active. Don't be the photographer on the offensive glass. Get in the picture. That's what Keita did. Goes to the free throw line. Not bad for a guy who did not play his senior year in high school with that knee injury.
Yeah, Keita at a DeSmet Jesuit in St. Louis. Got another one coming. That's his first miss from the free throw line this season. Busy weekend. It's Marty McGee live from Auburn tomorrow morning, followed by SEC Nation. Get you set for a full day of college football. I'll be in Baton Rouge tomorrow night for A&M and LSU.
I want to hear more about your game last Saturday.
I don't even remember what I did yesterday. You want me to talk about 6 days ago?
I want you to tell me about the experience of calling a game on the field, which I thought was brilliant.
I think fans would be shocked just how big and fast. You know, football players are strong, but Division I athletes in general, the speed with which they play and how quickly, whether it's football or basketball, a hole that looks open can close up. That one rejected by the front of the rim. Poto couldn't finish. Here's Pickett. And one. He's a much better second half player. Javon Pickett in and out of the starting lineup last year. 6th man for Missouri, had a great season. Willing to come off the bench when he was the starter the first couple, and the senior from Belleville makes it a 3-point play and ties this game. Dejuan Gordon Porter.
It's a great matchup. Pickett on Etienne.
Pickett 6'5", has some length. Etienne doesn't get a touch here. And Poto goes hard after the offensive rebound and is able to pick up the foul. Well, it was odd. It'll be on Yaya Keita, and it was being explained to Konzo Martin right in front of the Missouri bench.
But again, it was the creativity of Craig Porter Jr. late in a possession. I mean, he is playing with a lot of poise.
Eddie Podok's got another one coming. Freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, played just up the road in Wichita at Sunrise Christian.
And when I asked Isaac Brown today when we were meeting with him, what's been your most pleasant surprise? He couldn't get Poto's name out fast enough.
Yeah. Well, he got great experience overseas in the offseason playing for the Swedish national team. Got a jump ball belonged to Wichita State. So after committing to Richard Pitino, Minnesota, when the Gophers made a head coaching change, he came back over. Under 16 Euros, he scored 13 points, had 11 boards a game. Wichita.
Poto got away with carrying.
Etienne going through one of those Como roundabouts, and Poto with the putback. He's got 5. Wichita State coming off of a win Sunday against UNLV by 1, down 11 in the second half. And Etienne took over, scored 15 of the last 19. Rebound belongs to the Shockers. Council leading the break into the corner. Etienne. And it's ripped down by Ronnie DeGray.
Most players, you would say that's not a good look. But for Etienne, he has, as his head coach says, the ultimate green light.
Yeah, it's the brightest shade of green you can think of. That's the color of the light that Tyson Etienne has. He had 27 field goal attempts against Arizona a couple games ago. For historical reference point, the last Shocker who took that many shots in one game, the X-Men, Xavier McDaniel, back in 1985, the same year, he led the NCAA in scoring.
Take a look at what Etienne did in those 2 games, making 11 3-balls. How about this? Did you know before Wichita State beat UNLV that the Shockers had never won in the city of Vegas?
Why not?
Isn't there a lot of people that can make that claim?
Well, if you think you're winning, just wait. Shot clock at 5. Couple of tips from Brown, and it'll go out of bounds and belong to Wichita State.
I'd like to see when they isolate Pickett or Brown in their half-court sets, I'd like to see more body movement on the perimeter. Players are just kind of standing, which makes you easier to defend.
Still can't get over the fact that you had coconut in a Thanksgiving dish.
I was shocked at how good it was.
Here's Porter to Etienne. Shot clock winding down. Etienne's got size on him. And Pickett goes right over the top. Here's Pickett leaking ahead. Ball fake to Etienne, who couldn't recover in time. And Missouri's made it a 1-possession game again.
Again, get a stop and push in early transition. That's been Missouri's best offense here in the first 20.
Been a good defense for Mizzou. Shockers just 1 for the last 9. Line look into the corner. 30 seconds left in the half. Taken away! Kobe Brown! Oh! From behind, Porter fouled him. But it was a great recovery by Craig Porter Jr. Kobe Brown going to the line for a pair.
Got to be careful with passes back to the top of the key. That's a pick 6 by Kobe Brown. Unless you have the recovering skills of Craig Porter Jr. Brown looks like he's going to get the easy one-handed flush. And Porter does what you're supposed to do. Protect your rim.
Second on Craig Porter Jr. Kobe Brown's got another one coming. Averaging 16 points a game when these teams met in Wichita last year. Kobe put up 14. Not only did he initially sign with Texas A&M and head coach Billy Kennedy, but he would have been part of a formidable A&M squad. Had Coach Kennedy not been let go, Xavier Wheeler, one of the nation's leaders in assists, who was at Georgia the last few, but now at Kentucky, was also committed to Billy Kennedy.
How about this? Get the ball out of Etienne's hands. A little 2-2-1. Now Porter picked up his second foul, so he's to the bench. That moves Etienne into the point guard role.
Comfortable with the ball in his hands, dishes into the corner. Clock at 2. All the way in for the finish, and that's how the second half on his way to season high 27. He's been a second half performer each of the last couple seasons. Into the big fella, Jordan Wilmore. And he's missed a couple from inside, but there to clean it up, Javon Pickett. Wilmore is a wall inside. 7'3", 300, tallest player in Missouri basketball history. Just past the 7'2" Tom Dorr from back in the day. Udeze couldn't hit, and we get a bump and a foul. Joe Pleasant second.
I talk about being active on the offensive glass. Watch for White come from the left. Pickett just gets in the picture. Don't be the photographer. Get in the picture if you want to be a great offensive rebounder.
Missouri looking for the flash. Kobe Brown giving him 16 a game, only has 5 halfway through this one. Coleman tried to go into the defender. Fantastic effort by Craig Porter Jr.
Sensational by Porter not to bite on the ball fake.
Nice hesitation move. And a save on the baseline by Mizzou. Dejuan Gordon with the spike. A couple years for Bruce Weber at Kansas State. 22 starts for the Wildcats last year. You talked before the game about Kobe Brown being the leading man for Missouri. Now he's running the point. Who, on the scoring side, can be some of the supporting actors that he needs for Mizzou to be successful?
Well, I think Davis is one option. Gordon is another option. Coleman, and Gordon. I said Davis, I meant Gordon. I mean, they've got to take some pressure off. I know they want to establish Wilmore. He's had some tough luck, block to block. But we've seen, and we talked about this in the Open, how many different ways they will utilize the skill set of Kobe Brown.
Here's Kobe Brown. And the loose ball belongs to Etienne. 41% from 3 the last 2 games for Etienne, but just 1 for 5 tonight. Dennis hit his first, but that one's off the mark. Be back to Missouri.
But if you're Konzo Martin, I think you would be really disappointed with your team's defensive effort.
Isaac Brown just picked up a technical, didn't like the whistle against him on the baseline. Anthony Jordan teed him up. This Wichita State team that saw Arizona go to the free throw line 42 times. And all 3 of the Shockers bigs fouled out in that game against a really, really good Arizona team.
An interesting note, Coleman, 67% at the line on the year, is shooting the Tex.
I think it goes to show that what you see, especially early in the season during game day, versus what coaches have seen from their team since they first got on the floor and started practicing, it's not always the same. Isaac Brown doesn't agree with it. Picked to finish 7th last year. They won the American. Had a great run in conference play, 11-2.
How about the top of that league this year?
Oh, they're loaded.
Houston, Memphis.
Missouri had a big comfort behind win against SMU 2 games ago, moving screen, and that's on Jordan Wilmore. Didn't move his size 17's big enough, fast enough.
Getting the sense that Konzo Martin wants to get his leading scorer involved in the game. He's put Kobe Brown out front with the ball, trying to create some offense.
Wilmore will take a seat after his second, tied at 26 here. Well, without the 7-3 center on the floor, Missouri can switch more. And here comes Etienne.
It doesn't take long to get it off, does he?
No.
So quiet at the point of delivery.
62 threes as a freshman a couple of years ago. He has changed his game from just being a three-point specialist to an all-around scorer. Here's Ronnie DeGray III. Tigers have yet to make a three tonight, 0 for 6. And a step on the sideline. Mark, I never understand that. How basketball players take a pass and step out of bounds with no defensive pressure.
What does Dykes call that? The crowded corner. You see more players not be aware of that. Everything has to be a sidestep. But that goes against, Tom, the way you were taught to shoot the basketball as a youngster. Right foot back, if you're a right-hander, step into it. Cannot do that in the corner anymore.
I'll give you some grace when it comes to three-point attempts from the corner, but when you're just running down the sideline, that's like those folks driving home from Thanksgiving weekend that stay in the left lane with their blinker on. You have to have better spatial awareness.
That sounds like that happened to you today.
Pack light, leave early, stay in the right lane except to pass. Those are my 3 travel tips for the holidays. Here's Porter looking.
Got to be careful because Etienne can make shots in a hurry.
Quick release, but left it short.
So
Boris Udeze with another bucket.
Excuse me, Tom. I talked about the best offensive team, best defensive team. Well, if this is Missouri's best offensive team, the struggle for this group is going to be down in that high rent district, block to block.
Kobe Brown pull up. Air ball from 17. And right place, right time for Ronnie DeGray III.
That was not an air ball.
Okay.
If you ask Kobe Brown, he said that's an assist.
That's how Jim Valvano won his national championship on an assist. Udeze decides to throw it up and throw it in. Back-to-back buckets for the junior from Houston.
I was wondering why he even dribbled.
He'll stay with Missouri.
Yeah, you need to understand that your improvement happens in the summer.
Here's Pickett. Missouri still hasn't made a three tonight.
Pickett's struggles from the arc continue this season.
Bob Pickett just 2 for 12 overall last game, and he's only making 25% of his threes. Udeze with a wide dribble and gave that one to Boogie Coleman.
Coleman missed Pickett. Not on the break. You got to get that ball up sooner.
Davis got around Etienne, who commits his first personal.
Well, it wasn't pretty in transition, but Davis gets himself to the free throw line. Don't you feel like Davis kind of has a scorer's mentality? Every time he touches the rock, he's looking to be aggressive. I like that about his game.
Second team Horizon League at Green Bay, had a great freshman year. He broke Green Bay's freshman scoring record, which was held by Virginia head coach Tony Bennett. Davis has another one coming his way, 1,000-point scorer. Now in his season, in his career, 1,009 for the lefty. Amari Davis is one of those guys whose numbers shooting should improve as the season goes on. He was an 80% free throw shooter last year. Came in 10 points below that average. There's no reason free throws get harder in the SEC than they are in the Horizon League, right? So that number will go back up. Dennis goes down and no whistle either way except out of bounds.
Too much traffic. Too many dribbles. Look at all the white jerseys in the paint ready for defensive help. It's just too many bodies to try and split.
13th turnover for Wichita State. Missouri looking for a tie. Tigers have never led. Dejuan Gordon, too strong.
So catch that and shoot it in rhythm. Don't catch, step forward, step back.
Porter off balance. Wilmore charged with the foul, his third. He is efficient. Fouls per minutes played.
Take another look at Porter. Tried to explode to the rim. Wasn't able to be there. But speaking of being there, Udeze works the glass. Gets himself to the free throw line.
Wilmore is a guy that Conzo Martin talked a lot about his importance to this team. We talked to him at shoot around today. And he said it's not that he's not aggressive enough. He has it in him. It's being able to channel that. And you go back and look at guys he's played with and against. He had a game in the district championship against James Weissman a couple of years ago when Wilmore was at Whitehaven in Memphis. He threw an elbow against Weissman like 2 minutes in, and he was willing to be physical. The problem is he upset a lottery pick, and, well, Weissman ended up with something like 24 points, 20 boards, and 10 blocks. Sometimes it's better to let the sleeping bear lie. Udeze back to the free throw line. Missed them both.
He missed 2 free throws. That's like a turnover. Point guard, Kobe Brown.
What does that do to Missouri's half court?
Well, I think what it does is it opens up the floor, but if you don't have guys that can knock down shots, it won't really matter.
Shot clock winding down. Pickett had to throw it up, and he's bailed out by a Ricky Council foul, his second. All right, Missouri and Arkansas already played today. We got a busy day on the SEC Network tomorrow. It's all rivalries, Seminoles and Gators at noon. The Command Center broadcast, Vandy in Tennessee at 3:45. And then SEC Saturday night, Clemson goes into Williams-Brice to take on bowl-bound South Carolina.
Okay, I don't know a lot about football, but you know my basketball offensive background.
Yeah.
I love me some Tennessee Volunteers and the way they play.
Former Missouri offensive coordinator Josh Heupel willing to run 95 plays a game and sling it around. Had Drew Lock when he was here. Pickett misses them both.
First team to 50 wins.
Etienne. He's into double digits at the 13:25 mark. We'll see where he ends up. Missouri's still 0 from deep, 0 for 9.
Here's the downside of having Kobe Brown as your point guard. Nobody back.
And it ends up with Quay Grant getting his second bucket. Loose ball. Taken away by Grant. Grant through traffic, got Etienne in the corner, and he got it stuck on his hip. He was in between the pass and the finish, but he finished last time.
Last couple of looks. Here's Etienne with the acrobatic finish in the paint. And then on the other end, after the miss, and the finish. Points are hard to come by, so look for easy points. Might be a big possession for Mizzou.
Down 7. Tigers trail by 9 at one point in the first half. Brown trying to get downhill. They won't go. Found his own miss. Putback rolls off.
He's working so hard, and Missouri's working so hard just to get shots off.
Tigers have only made 1 of their last 9. Team that came in shooting 41% from the floor. A lot of eyes on Etienne, so he dumps it inside. And Kenny Poto slams it down. Conzo Martin's going to want 32 feet. And game-winning free throws with 3.5 seconds left against UNLV. Quay Grant going for the steal. He picks the pocket. Somehow Missouri gets it back. Boogie Coleman exposed as a 6'5" lead guard.
But again, if you're going to dribble, be aggressive. Go in angles.
Coleman's got great size. Etienne challenge. Oh my! Largest lead of the game for Wichita State.
Nasty. That was just nasty and center cut. Reminded me of one of your putts.
We talked about this game being a barometer for both sides. A tougher schedule to come for Mizzou. Tigers now 0 for 10 from deep. Wichita State in the middle of their run. Arizona, UNLV, they got Oklahoma State next in Stillwater, then Kansas State in Wichita. And Missouri is getting ready to face a road game at Liberty next Saturday. Have to go to Kansas. They also have Utah and Illinois still remaining in the non-conference before opening at Kentucky. Kenny Poto commits a foul. What's your take? Like, it's easy to break down the game at Allen Fieldhouse. Utah, right. Illinois has been good. But what about Liberty? What strikes you when you see that Missouri goes to Lynchburg?
Dangerous. I'm not sure why Missouri is going to Liberty. It's a great home game for Liberty, great opportunity. But it's got danger written all over it.
Shockers by 11. Quay Grant with the kick. Here's Amari Davis. Gets to the rim.
Under control, though. Nice finish. Missouri needed that hoop bad. You know, it's interesting. You brought up the schedule. What did Conzo Martin talk to us about in terms of the transfer portal and scheduling as we move forward? That scheduling is going to be harder to do because of the transfer portal.
Oh, big slam by Kenny Poto. He's got 9. Harder to predict those guarantee games or the wins that you think would be automatic when you start scheduling wins. Ronnie DeGray off the back rim. Missouri 0 for 11 from 3.
Because how a team might look 2 years from now, with the transfer portal, there's no telling.
Easily hit the reset button.
I do think this time, I think our game, because of the transfer portal, is older and there is more talent in our game with the free COVID year when you throw all those things together this season. I think our product is at an all-time high.
Does that change next season?
Yeah, it'll drop a little bit because of the free COVID. You'll get younger again.
First make from deep for Mizzou. It's Boogie Coleman.
Well, can Missouri string together a couple of stops and scores?
That will be the lineup to do it against, with Etienne getting a breather. Council taking over that shooter's role. Ricky Council throws it in.
He doesn't shoot a lot, but he's been 44% from bonus land over the 2 seasons.
Oh, calling a trend. Amari Davis throws it in from deep.
It's a virus.
That's not funny. Tigers had missed their first 11 from 3. Grant got a half step, went back into the defender, even though he had an easy path down the lane. Wichita State has out-rebounded Missouri by 9 now. Here's Council. Shot clock winding. Jackson. I walked by the law school. That's about as close as I got.
Or were you too busy hanging out at like Heidelberg's, and Shakespeare's, and Harpo's, Fuji's?
Somebody sent you the camera roll, didn't they? Everybody, people are getting a kick out of the way you pronounce the oldest hamburger joint in the state. I usually go to Booch's.
I was close.
You're close, yeah.
I like both places.
You're excused.
Oh, I had some help on that today.
9-point lead for Wichita State. Oh, that is a strong post move by Morris Udeze.
That is flexing your muscles block to block.
We don't talk much about the transfer portal with guys who return, but that's what Udeze did. 4-on-1 for Wichita State, and somehow they don't get a bucket out of it. Pinball game continues. And then a walk. Tom Amansky would not be selling a VHS of this game.
Both teams playing way too much giveaway.
Well, we were talking about Udeze a moment ago, and he entered the transfer portal in March, decided to come back to Wichita State. We don't talk about that side of it very often, but I think it's healthy for kids to go out and say, you know what, after surveying my options,
right,
I got it pretty good here. How big an issue is the point guard position for Missouri?
Huge right now. It's point guard by committee, and you know what that means.
It's like if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Correct.
Davis deep 2.
He's giving them a little lift here in the second half.
And a great score in his college career. Porter with the crossover. Wow, beautiful look. And Wichita State dunking on Mizzou, now up 11.
The other side of that is I think Wichita State has found their point guard. He is looking more and more comfortable each possession.
Pickett had Wilmore, but couldn't get rid of it. And that'll be the second on Etienne.
There's another good decision by Porter. Utilizes the ball screen. Watch the way he kind of plays this in slow motion, though. And I think that's a feature of most great guards. They see the game in slow motion.
I saw the game wrong. That foul was on Udeze, his third, not Etienne. 5 minutes to play.
Well, do the Tigers have one run-in?
Came from behind against SMU a couple games ago. Big buckets late. They did it by getting to the rim. Mizzou continues to struggle from deep.
Too many possessions to start milking the clock. Run your offense.
You've covered this Wichita State program for a few years now.
Yeah.
Multiple trips to the Roundhouse. Where did the excellence develop, and how did it get going for Wichita State?
Well, they've had a deep tradition,
yeah,
all the way back to Gene Smithson in those days, the X-Man that you referenced earlier. But if you haven't been to the Roundhouse, to that environment, you're missing out on truly one of the treats in college basketball. A wonderful place to play, and I mentioned juice in the open.
Yeah.
It's got great juice.
2013 Final Four. They also went back in '65. One time Missouri Valley Conference players, and we got an injury down on the floor. This is not good for Missouri. Kobe Brown.
I saw Brown kind of go flying after getting bodied around. take another look from the out under. Brown's right in front of you, gets involved. Maybe a little friendly fire.
Yep, took a shot from Dejuan Gordon. Officiating crew wants to make sure the clock is accurate. 5 points and 7 boards for Brown. The unfortunate part of how this season is shaping up for Missouri is if help doesn't arrive soon, Kobe Brown's going to have to be a 16, 17 point a game scorer for Missouri to have success.
Every night.
Yeah. Beautiful feed. And that is the 4th on Jordan Wilmore.
Right now, the game is in the hands of Craig Porter Jr. at the point for the visiting Shockers. Watch this pass. One-handed, wrap around, bounce pass, on point to Udeze.
Jordan Wilmore will be a key player for Missouri going forward, but he's having a hard time staying on the floor. I was thinking about Jeremiah Tillman, who in Missouri played an exhibition game against Kansas a couple of years ago. Fouled out in a 7-foul game. Wilmore has committed 4 fouls in 11 minutes on the floor today.
But wasn't the watching the development of Tillman over his career here fun to watch?
Oh, no doubt. And I think that Jeremiah Tillman, from a foul perspective, got a lot of bad whistles. Kobe Brown has nobody to inbound it to. And I think that it's a fact that you can develop a reputation as a fouler early on. And basically, especially in conference play, you get the same officials a couple times a week.
Did you have that reputation?
I had a lot of reputations. I'm trying not to discuss those anymore. Blocked inside. Not unless you muddy the game up to a point where you just really lean on defense and rebounding, but that's tough to do against great teams, and the SEC is loaded with great teams this year.
Do you agree with me that this season for the league has a chance to be really special?
Oh, yeah.
I think the top, let's say 8 teams, could be really good.
I think the balance of that, here's Etienne. Yeah, he's looking at the clock. He's not going to give it up. He'll get a shot off here. That'll take him 16 attempts if you're counting. And he rattles it home. Largest lead of the game for Wichita State. Mark, you talk about the top half of the league plus, and there is certainly part of the league that's, 4 or 5 teams at the bottom. They're going to have a hard time unless they're playing each other. And so what does that do from a conference standpoint? It allows your great teams to feast on those at the bottom. There's Wilmore, first bucket.
That's Wilmore's best look of the night. Well, Lenardi in his latest, which I think came out yesterday, had 8 teams in. So it tells me if you're in the top 7, you're going to be in. If you're the 8th, you got a chance to be in. And if you're 9th, Tom, I think you're going to be on the bubble.
15 points for Udeze. May I make a request?
Yes.
Can we refrain from putting out NCAA tournament predictions before the college football playoff field is officially set? The day after the college football playoff field is set, the next day, let's jump all in and let's seed 1 through 16 4 times.
It's like whenever somebody puts out a list, the way too early. Well, if it's way too early.
Well, at least when you label it way too early, you're admitting this is way too early. Kobe Brown back in the game. Good to see after he took a shot to the head a few minutes ago. Speaking of college football, rivalry games tomorrow on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Florida will have a new head coach before long. They take on Florida State in a rivalry. Vandy and Tennessee, which should be a fun one. Commodores looking for their first conference win. And South Carolina trying to cap a fantastic regular season under Shane Beamer, playing host to Dabo and number 23 Clemson.
Following up on what we talked about just a little bit in the first half, what did you learn from doing that game last week on the field, that football game?
That the appreciation for speed and size is kind of underappreciated overall, I think, but also the difference between a successful play, say a completed pass versus one that it's incomplete, it's minuscule. I mean, the difference between winning and losing, therefore, can be minuscule.
Interesting. I enjoyed it.
Fadeaway deep 2 for Amari Davis. The best part of it, and this is what I'd love to see more of, was the access. Lane Kiffin came up to me on the sideline at one point when Vandy had the ball in the red zone. He said, we're going cover 0 here. We're blitzing everybody, no coverage. Okay, fine. Vanderbilt jumped off sides. He had walked up the sideline. He came back down. He goes, all right, now we're going drop 8. We're only rushing 3. If you can get a coach to give you that kind of access and you can share it with the audience, I think it gives fans a much better appreciation of, hey, here's what these guys are doing and sometimes what they're trying to do.
By the way, Etienne up to 17. I know you know that.
Looking good. Etienne with the personal foul. It's his second.
Another look.
Tigers held him to 3 of 12 shooting last year. A volume shooter, 7 for 17. Kobe Brown back to the free throw line. Shares a first name and a number with the great Kobe Bryant, who his dad knew back in his coaching days. Spending time in Philadelphia.
So if you're Konzo Martin, what can you take away from this game from a positivity standpoint? To me, the positive part is Davis here in the second half. I mean, they are begging for somebody to give them an offensive lift.
Brown with a nice reverse after following his own miss. Kobe Brown, and this is nothing against him as a player, but if you look at elite scorers in the SEC, they are guys who think score first, right? He's not quite there yet. So as a complementary player, he can be a fantastic offensive player. As the first choice, it feels like he's going to need some help. Do you agree?
I do agree, and maybe the desperation of a lack of point guard, because we saw Kobe Bryant, excuse me, you planted that seed. Kobe Brown run the point a little bit tonight. That's not his position. Konzo Martin knows that.
I like him at the point if it's a give it up, get it back scenario.
Yeah, just to initiate.
Yeah. Etienne, this guy knows how to get shots up. He threw that one up from 60 feet after he's fouled, and he insists I was shooting. That'll go in the NBA. That's not happening on a Friday night at Mizzou Arena. Next one will put him in the bonus. Your number was 18.5. Is that right?
Now you're trying to change the game.
No, what was it?
19.5.
19. Dang it. Amari Davis with the foul. What have you seen from Amari Davis? We know he can score. Can he be a guy that initiates the offense, or is he going to be better off the ball?
Well, I think he's going to be much better off the ball, and you might have to give him a little rope, meaning he might take some bad shots.
Yeah.
But right now, this team needs offense in the worst way.
First point this second half for Pleasant. If Wichita State holds on, and they should, this is not only a good win for Isaac Brown and the Shockers, it's a good win for the American Athletic Conference.
Right.
Missouri came from behind, beat SMU in overtime 2 games ago in Jacksonville before following Florida State.
And that means that the road team has won the first 2 games in this series.
This will be the first win for Wichita State in the series. They played here in Missouri a handful of times, including, how about this, Mark, back-to-back nights in 1950. I shouldn't assume they were nights. Could have been afternoon games. January 16th, Missouri won, 1951. They came back around and played the very next day. That's efficient scheduling.
There is no truth to the rumor that I did either one of those games.
You would be able to tell us if that was in Brewer Fieldhouse or Rothwell Gymnasium. That was before the Hearn Center was built. Brown to Davis. Muscled up and in by Ronnie DeGray III. Gonzo Martin will use a timeout.
We talked about Tyson Etienne being one of the better offensive players in the country. And
Big 8 player of the year. Still close with Melvin today, who's out in Phoenix watching his son Devin do wonderful things for the Phoenix Suns.
And
Isaac,
I'm sorry, Tom.
Isaac said he got here and he said he looked around this beautiful building and he looked up at the names and numbers, retired jerseys. He said, the first thing I'm doing is I'm calling Melvin. You're Conference Player of the Year? They don't have your name anywhere in the building.
I was going to ask you, remind me again how bright green is the green light for Etienne?
It is nuclear green. You know the sludge that comes out of the reactor at the beginning of The Simpsons? It's that color green. Amari Davis has 15. Back-to-back double-digit games. It's 29 over the last 2 for the junior transfer from Green Bay, and a tie-up in a 7-point game. I'll put Etienne at the free throw line. This will be his first free throw attempt. As a guy who takes as many shots as Etienne does he need to go to the free throw line more often?
That's easy to say, but hard to execute at times. So theoretically, yes. I think when you have a scorer and you have a player with the skill set of an Etienne, I talked about giving rope, and I think Isaac Brown is doing the right thing with Etienne. He knows that if he doesn't allow Etienne that kind of green light, that kind of offensive freedom, that Wichita State will get bogged down in the half court.
Yeah. Wichita State's going to win this game by shooting 47% from the floor. Can we count Etienne's free throw attempts? I'd get him 19 shot attempts in the night. Amari Davis, 17 now. 6-point deficit. Missouri trying to tie up in the corner. And saved on the baseline right to Kobe Brown. Heaves. And the clock will run out on Missouri. They made it interesting